Vision Mitsubishi Webster located at 765 Ridge Road. The applicant, Robert Sanders of Sanders Consulting, and Andrew Spencer of BME Associates, are requesting preliminary site plan approval and a public hearing associated with the construction of an approximately 1,200 square foot building addition, expansion of existing parking lot, and improvements to existing storm sewer systems on a 3.1 acre parcel located in a medium-intensity commercial district under Sections 269-11 and 350-18 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Good evening. My name is Andrew Spencer with BME Associates, here representing Vision Mitsubishi for this application. Do have representation from Vision Mitsubishi if I cannot answer any of the board's questions. It was a very nice summary that you just had, and basically that is exactly what we're doing. A 1,200 square foot building addition on the east side of the building. And we are expanding a fire lane to go around that expansion of the building. The expansion is going to be used for customer car drop-off. So it's an indoor area where a vehicle will be able to be pulled in. Customer can get out of that vehicle indoors during inclement weather. And then the service members of Vision Mitsubishi will then take the vehicle into the shop for the customer. We are also proposing some minor pavement adjustments and amendments to the rear of the site. We are adding some additional parking on the site. And we did receive variances from the ZBA for buffers on the site. We have a buffer along the east side of approximately 13.3 feet, buffer to the west side of approximately 4 or 5 feet. It is on the plans that the board is now reviewing. We also received a reduction in the front buffer from 50 feet to 42 feet to allow for parking on the north side of the building to extend further. Those were angled parking spaces originally, and we're proposing them as a true 90-degree parking space. We do have storm sewers that are going through the site that'll have to be modified because there is a storm sewer that would be directly underneath the proposed building addition. We did provide an erosion control utility drainage plan. We are going to be taking that storm sewer a little bit further to the east and then connecting back up to some of the existing catch basins. We are not going to be doing anything within the public realm. All of the improvements on the site will be private. We did provide some responses to comments that we received from the August meeting that we attended, as well as comments that we received just on November 21st. And we did provide a letter explaining what we are going to be doing on the site. I think one of the main concerns that we get out of this is a concern about the oil water separator and drainage in this building. The plumbing contractor and the owner of the building, they're reviewing the existing oil water separator, determine what its capacity is. And then we will take a look at whether or not there is enough capacity within that oil water separator to put a drain within the building. Two options then occur. If there is not capacity, then the owner may not put a drain within the interior of the building. And secondly, if it does not have capacity, they may replace that oil water separator. That is an unknown at this time. So we would ask the board to potentially provide and give us a conditional approval, preliminary approval, based upon information that will be forthcoming. With that, I would love to take any questions that the board may have.
What they gave you a variance for the front off of Ridge Road setback?
Yes, that is correct. We received a variance to reduce the front setback from 50 feet to 42 feet.
42 feet. So now, with every car dealer along, I don't know why they did that. Every car dealer along there is going to be coming in looking to get a variance for 40-foot setback. The reason the 50-foot setback was there was to maintain that as a green space area. which leads me to another part. You've got trucks making deliveries and they're parking on the road. They were there yesterday. Parking on the road, unloading.
Okay. The applicant at this point in time, the owner of the facility, has agreed that any unloading and loading that is going to occur on this site will be done
That's
on the
bullcrap.
site.
They've done this before. I'm really upset with this. This is a case where the tail is wagging the dog. We've been through this. We were there. I've talked to those guys over there personally.
The new
Oh,
ownership.
yeah, okay, yeah, I knew whatever they are. They were there a month ago. And yeah, no problem. And then we asked to have a cut through showing there right now, connecting the two units to be able to drive in and out and around. Looked like somebody took a pencil and made a line through there. Like that's gonna work? I have a real issue with this, I'm serious.
All of the turning movements on the site can be performed by those semi-trucks coming in and out of sites.
Then why are they not using it now?
I do not know that answer, sir.
Well, there you go. I do know, because they don't have the room to get the trucks in. So
There
they
should be-
park on the road and unload.
There
And they
should be
destroy the
dedicated
shoulders.
spaces, right, where the trucks can come in, unload.
That is not a typical occurrence on any type of commercial development. You do not have truck berths and truck areas through parking lots. We can take a look at a whole host of different car
Well,
dealerships here.
That's
that
the
have
issue,
limited
is that all
spaces.
these things have had,
The intent is that the loading and unloading is to be done on the site. The applicant has agreed, when I discussed this with them, that that is what they're going to be doing. I was not aware that there was a vehicle out there on the road yesterday. That is, we are site engineers and landscape architects and surveyors trying to propose this. If there is a code violation that's being, if there's code violations occurring, then I would suggest that the town go and apply a code violation on this.
So I guess the question is, how are they gonna do it on site? How are they gonna load and unload on site?
This weird scissor replacing gadget is quickly becoming the most popular Christmas gift of 2025.
I realize that you think this is a pencil drawing on a piece of paper. This has been done through a turning template program through AutoCAD. And it's showing the worst condition of what a turn could be at approximately 8 miles per hour to 10 miles per hour of the speed of a vehicle. The vehicle can make the turn from Ridge Road into the site. There is clearance and there is area available to do that. There is also clearance and area available for that vehicle to turn to the west and travel along the frontage of the building, and then make a turn back to the north to exit on the property adjacent.
I mean, that's assuming none of those cars are gonna be parked
Right.
there.
That is correct. When a vehicle
Right.
comes in, those vehicles,
How frequently are cars being dropped off? A week, a month? Like, how
I've gotta-
frequently?
I'll have to confirm.
So you're gonna move all those vehicles every single time?
No, that will not happen.
This is circa 2024. That's
So
correct.
we have, I mean, that would be.
Maybe she
I don't
has to
know
go to
who's
the
She has to go
microphone.
up and talk, yeah.
Do you mind stepping up for the microphone, please?
well, are you part of the applicant, or are you public?
Yes, this is June. She's from Vision Automotive.
Okay.
Yep, I'm June Kinsella from Vision Automotive. Yes, we'll have to move all those vehicles to pull the trucks in.
Every time?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
This isn't gonna
that's not
happen.
gonna happen.
No,
You can tell.
No, I
us
think
this
at our last
stories
meeting, we were
before.
pretty adamant
That's
that we wanted to see that this can occur within this facility. And if you're gonna be using the neighboring facility, do you have an agreement with the neighboring facility that they're gonna move their cars every single time to allow for this to come
Correct.
through? And
It's
right now,
also-
I mean, this vehicle tracking movement, it's probably out of turn or whatnot. Coming in, you're not staying within the pavement limits. You're going into the shoulder. So I'm not, and I understand this is the worst case scenario, but I don't see this, a truck full of cars going onto the grass. I don't see that as something realistic. Plus right now you have cars parked out in the front within the right of way area, and you're saying you're gonna move those every single time. to get a delivery in. And I think we had people who stopped out there to discuss with the owner, and they said that they can't control the drivers and who comes from where and what the driver is, and there's a language barrier. So I don't think we can take a guarantee that this will occur without it being on site. Yeah.
Do you know how many cars you have right now currently in the driveway and on the lawn? It is supposed to be the buffer area?
I do not know, but I
You
can
do
find
not
out
know?
that
Okay.
answer.
I mean, keep in mind, this is a safety concern on Ridge Road, sorry.
I'm gonna guess there's probably at least a dozen vehicles
Yes.
that are non-conforming right now, parked in the driveway, going out to the road. This is very upsetting for us here, because this is something the town has tried to clean up. Over the years, it's been maintained fairly well. Lately, it's out of control.
For
The only
Mitsubishi.
one that's conforming right now that I can see is, what's it, Garber? Used to be Doyle Garber's. Their landscaping is in the front and all their cars in back. Every other one, the cars are parked out almost onto the highway, on the grass. And until this gets straightened out, I'm not prepared to move forward, my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you.
This needs to be taken care of. The cars are maxed out on the site. Zoning board did grant you variances. However, I don't know why they gave a variance for 40 foot, where everyone else is 50 foot in front.
I agree with you too. I think this drawing is a prime example of why.
What's that, I'm sorry?
I agree. I mean, this drawing they gave us is a prime example of it's not going to happen.
No.
It's a good demonstration of we cannot turn our vehicle around on the site, and it's going to have to be unloaded someplace out and probably going to be on the road. So this is a very good demonstration on exactly why they're not following it. I do know that all these sites have a special use permit, and the suggestion has been made if there's been a code violation, that action be taken on that. I would take it a step further. I would have send a letter to them saying that you've violated the conditions of approval for the site, and the special permit is now subject to being pulled
It's
for
almost
operation of the dealership.
It's almost a slap. I mean, they know whoever has the business knows what the required setbacks are with the vehicles. And just go ahead and park them on the road. I guess code enforcement's been over there. They've given them letters last week, but they're still out there. And they got letters.
I was not aware of
Well,
any
yeah, I
of
know
that.
you're not.
I was not aware of it.
It's just frustrating for everybody to have to deal with this every day.
And obviously the truckers don't know where to go because they park out there. If there was a straight line of communication with the truckers, then they would know exactly where to park their truck, not on Ridge Road.
I mean, they take up an entire lane, they sit there, and then all the
Right,
cars
it's a
have to
safety
pass
hazard.
them.
Well, it isn't just that they're parked on the road. Right
It's-
now, it's dry, so to speak. When you get spring and it's wet, there are mud holes and puddles all along there. Well, welcome to Webster. Isn't that a pretty attraction?
I guess
It's
there
very
might-
disgusting.
Not to mention that there's a lot of cars that are dropped after 4:30 and it's dark on Ridge Road. It's a real mess, not just for these people, but for several dealers up and down the street. And definitely something's got to be done to straighten it out because it's getting way out of hand.
Well, it's a small parcel of land. They've got variances for small setbacks on the side, additional parking, more cars jamming it in there. This,
Vision, he said next door, they got a lot off site where they have their cars delivered to and then they drive them up to the dealership, I believe.
For the Nissan store?
Yeah. Same company.
And that could actually be done here as well.
Yes.
well,
If
okay,
we
then maybe
cannot-
that's what they need to show us that they're doing.
Okay.
Well, then we will
So there's got to do something, and I don't know. All right, you got the variance. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, I don't agree with the fact that they got variances
I don't either, not at all.
before this came before this board.
Not
I mean, this
That's
is,
right.
we saw the concept plan, we noticed it in the original concept plan, the parking in the back was going into the adjacent zoning area, which wasn't supposed to do that, and I see it's been pulled up. Looks like they compensated for it by putting all the parking up front before coming back to this board and showing the changes to the plan.
It's actually-
Just
There's actually
now
been
in
a
the back
reduction in
too,
the amount
there's
of
areas
parking.
of, it says limits of disturbance that do go into the LMR zoning. The understanding is they're supposed to be staying out of that LMR zoning just altogether. Taking away some of the green buffer in there, and that's supposed to be protected by it. So even though we requested that before, it's still not shown on the plans.
We are not going within the LMR zoning district with any parking.
Well, this says
Like
limits of
clearing.
disturbance, and it's going into the LMR zoning, and
That
there
is
is
correct,
modifications
because
to the grading.
we have to grade a little bit into that area.
Yeah, and that's part
Grading
of
is an
this.
allowable use within the LMR zoning.
That area's not
All
supposed
of
to
the
be touched.
parking is on the medium-intensity commercial district, because a special permit is required if parking is shown on the residential district. We pulled that out of there. There is a slight amount of grading that has to occur on this corner, which is the southeast corner of the site. Disturbance also includes removing some of the gravel, removing some of the asphalt that's back there, so that that parking area can be paved and be one paved surface. So as part of this project, it is also trying to improve that parking area in the rear.
I am not in agreement for any approval on this project, the way it stands. It's contradictory to what the town's code has been for setbacks, green space area, so on and so forth, number one. Number two, the violations that have been going on, we have to see that something gets corrected. That being vehicles right to you're here tonight, and there's vehicles parked right out on, almost onto the highway tonight. And they're supposed to be back 50 feet, or, well, now you got a new thing, 40 feet. I can't see this thing moving, in my opinion, moving forward.
So the main issue being the truck turning movements and loading and unloading. Whether it be a formal agreement that is somehow formalized here at the town that says that Vision Mitsubishi will not allow unloading or loading on Ridge Road, and will do that within the site. The secondary option could be unloading them on a different parcel and then moving them individually to this site, or finding some option to be able to maneuver within the site with a semi-truck.
Josh, can you go back to the site, just the site itself? Okay, see where you're proposing the building there?
Yes.
The addition, number one, what's the width of that lot? I think 151 feet wide, the whole lot. It's like the size of a good-sized house lot. And you've got a large building, and then you're putting in an addition on 30 some feet, 35, 30 feet out. Then you're showing that area that's darkened, edge of pavement, I'm gonna guarantee you right now that will not happen. That will have cars. That should be a fire lane right through there that would be maintained, and I'll guarantee it won't be. Just by the nature of the way things have gone. And that's why I have issues with this. I don't know the rest of the board, but
No, I agree with you. I see the layout as something that's really not in conformance with what we would like to see for the site. And it's unfortunate that the plans we're seeing don't reflect the discussions we had during concept review. And also, I think it is a huge issue with the unloading and loading. I know that several of these sites have been in the past, and they've all promised we are going to take care of it. It has been a condition of approval for all the site plans for these parcels, and
Yep.
yet it's still just not being ignored. So I think it's time to stop.
well, you know what, then, as presented, I'll make a motion to deny this application.
I'll second it.
instead of denying this application, would the board consider tabling this application so that I can get further information and get further information back to this board to
Right.
be able to consider this?
I think the denial is appropriate for this, especially since the plan that is coming is not something that we've seen before.
You could present another drawing, or they could come back in with something else, but it needs to be something considerably different, showing where I'm looking at the site here now. If a driveway came across, you'd wipe out every one of those parking spaces in the front there to make a truck turn. So that isn't going to happen. So what they would have to do is come in with information showing maybe they have another place, they lease an area where they unload and then bring their cars there one by one. However, I'm not in the car business. I don't know.
No, we do that.
It's got to be
for
another way to
dealerships.
do it,
We do that.
because this has reached the end of the road, in my
Okay.
opinion.
Just keep in mind, we had a motion, there was a second.
Okay, I'll call the roll.
Sorry.
I made a motion to deny the application.
And Mr.
Malta.
Malta
Second,
seconded, so
yes.
this is for denial.
Yes.